Sometimes I forget I actually have to do these. But yes, if you're not familiar with how these videos work, you guys all know I'm a One Piece fan. And from the beginning of 2020, once a month I talk about an arc throughout the course of the series. And last month we just finished a massive part of the story in the Alabasta arc. And now we take things a little more smoothly into the Jaya arc, which is where we are now. And right away, and I said this last when I talked about Alabasta, we're introduced to a new member of the Straw Hat crew in Nico Robin. Now, the fact that she's an archaeologist really sort of, added to the group in terms of, over Star's intelligence, but also just because she was just, really cool. Like, when she made her presence known in the Whiskey Peak arc, or the beginning of, either it was the end of Whiskey Peak or the beginning of Little Garden, she really made her presence known. She became, a fan favorite. So when she joined the crew, a lot of people were happy. That was really cool. But, it's actually so impressive how in 19 manga chapters and 9 anime episodes, Jaya really fits a lot into a little. Because by all accounts, it really is a transitional arc between Alabasta and what's about to come next, which I will be getting into in the new year. At the same time, though, a lot of stuff happens. You have, the world government taking notice of Luffy's actions at Alabasta, thus increasing his bounty to 100 million berries, and Zoro's up to 60 million. His actual first bounty in the series, actually. You have the actual meeting of marriage between, several of the warlords. Don Quixote del Flamingo, Bartholomew Kuma, Draco Mihawk shows up. And we're introduced to Fleet Admiral Sengoku. So that meeting was actually quite prolific in a way. But the real meat of this arc takes place on the titular island, Jaya, which visually doesn't leave much to be desired. It doesn't really have much going on. But what it lacks in, visual design, it makes up for it in a lot of characters that are introduced. Sariyama Alliance, which actually introduced us to Mont Blanc Cricket, and we later hear about his ancestor, Mont Blanc Nolan, who becomes relevant in the next arc, actually. We get to learn about how basically the most ominous characters in the series are actually there. Just walking about casually. In fact, I'm speaking for the Blackbeard pirates, but the way that Blackbeard and Luffy first meet is hilarious because they argue over how delicious a pie is. That's hilarious. And Blackbeard really, in a lot of ways, even though, yes, he is an antagonist, he also, best describes how a pirate in this world should act. In fact, he's been the only villain in the series so far, at this point anyway, who hasn't outright laughed at any of the dreams of the Straw Hats. And he actually gives one of the most prolific speeches in the series. And I can't really talk about Jaya without talking about the arc's villain, Bellamy. He is a stock standard bad guy. In fact, not only does he laugh at, he is there to be the bad guy, do bad guy things. He is there for Luffy to punch him in the face, which he does in a very satisfying fashion. But the real bulk of how his story progresses will not happen for quite a while. A long while. I'll put it to you this way. The next time I talk about Bellamy won't be until 2022. Probably. I'm sure my daily videos will probably rectify that somewhat. But At the same time, yes, Bellamy was defeated in a satisfying manner. And I actually didn't tell you, the arc really does begin in one of the craziest ways ever. Like, yeah, we're in the Grand Line, anything can happen, but a ship falling from the sky and wondering, how did that just happen? And then we go and find out how it happens. I mean, that is incredible. And I really like how the arc ends with a rather explosive finish. I mean, you have the Blackbeard pirates seeing Luffy and Zoro's new bounties and trying to collect them. And at the same time, the Straw Hats are trying to move on to where they're trying to go. And again, a rather explosive faction. But I'll talk about that next month. So, yeah, a lot happens in this arc in so little time. But it's a sort of a lot amount where it's not overwhelming. It's actually quite, fun. And that's all you can say. Also, one of the coolest animals in the series, Southbird. Southbird is cool. He's just like a total jerk to the Straw Hats, and it's great. Yeah, not really much else to say about this arc. I try and keep these sort of, brief whenever. And I want to get this done over with now before I get into my daily video later because, I probably could have done both in one thing, but, I think the arc thoughts should be, on their own. So, like, favorite, chat, the subscribe button, follow me on social platforms, for you guys on YouTube, home. I made this video for you guys watching over today. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful December 31st. Guys, Happy New Year, everybody. And remember, if you guys want to talk, the channel is going to be here to let you know I was back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.